Today is 18th of February 2026. Today is a Wednesday. So we'll be starting off with the pound dollars, which is GBPUSD. Of course, before we go to the technical aspects, let's go to the fundamental aspect. Let's see what we are expecting today. All right. Today being Wednesday, February 18th, you can see right here 2026. The current time in Nigeria, okay, let me just remove this. The current time in Nigeria is 6:51 a.m. So let's see if you are expecting any major news. Remember, we are focusing on United States major news. Okay, we have one major news coming up by 8 p.m., which is the FOMC. So that comes up 8 p.m. Nigerian time, and of course, I repeat, the current time in Nigeria is 6:51 a.m. So you can actually adjust the time to the time that actually suits your local time. You can do that on Forex Factory to see the time that suits your local time. That's it. Let's go back to the technical aspect. Now, on pound dollars, actually, we took a trade yesterday that happens to be very, very profitable. Let me see. Wait. Okay, yeah, I think yes, good. Here is it. Now, yesterday we actually took this trade. First, when we analyzed this trade yesterday, so the market was somewhere around this level. It was 1:1 risk to reward ratio. So I said we are going to wait for the market to actually pull back to this level, give us a rejection, then we target it to this next level. Those of you that actually watched yesterday's analysis, I'm sure you can remember that. But if you haven't watched the analysis, you can check the previous video on that analysis, and that is exactly what really happened. The market put back to this our previous level, and of course we shorted this market. Then stop loss was here, just like I said. The take profit was right here, and it actually got our take profit, even went a little below it before coming back again. So the same pattern still validated. That's what I'm still doing. And just for those, in case of those that were not there yesterday, let me still take it back to 4-hour chart. You can see where I got these two zones from. So let me take back to 4-hour charts. Okay, now here is the previous level. The previous level it was, and that was I think last week. So I marked this as a previous low. So when it broke below this, then I marked this as the next low we are expecting. So there is got down there, they tested it. So that means we have high chance of the market actually. We have high chance of the market actually moving back to this next high right here. Why? Because actually we tested this previous level. This is giving us a confirmation that we have likely bullish momentum on this current levels right here. So that means we have good sense of the market pulling back to this next high. So that is what we are still anticipating. But then until that happens, we are still very much going to be looking at what the market is doing. Is it bearish or bullish based on the recent change of structure? So let's go back to 15 minutes time. Now, having moving back from this level, now making series of a bit of our new highs, because you can see after getting this low, then getting here, getting this, somewhere here, now pulling back. Because our buy setup can only be validated if this previous high is taken out again, then we can look for, but then taking here is already a scalping, so that for the scalpers. So if you want to take this as a day trader, as a swing trader, you have to wait for it to break above this, then retest it for us to go long. And that is what I'll be looking to do. That is on the buy side. I'll wait for it to actually break below that, break out of this, retest it for me to go long. And on the short side, just the way you know it, I said look for short, the market happens to go below this level. Okay, that's for the pound dollar. So let's go to BTCUSD before XAU. All right, on BTCUSD, we actually said something yesterday. We said we actually expected the market actually give us a bullish trade of which that didn't really happen yesterday. Instead, it's actually hit our stop loss, taking us out of this market because the market actually went bearish yesterday. So let's see what really we are expecting today. Are we going bullish or are we still going bearish? This is what we actually expected yesterday. But the way the market actually gave us this affirmation, we actually went long on this, putting stop loss below this level, hoping it's going to hold, but then that didn't really happen. So let's see what's going to happen today. Okay, so let's go back to the 4-hour chart. Alright, I mean that the market is currently showing indecisiveness. is really trying to actually break above this previous level right here. It's really trying to break above the 68,000 level. But then if it's not able to break up, you can see just moving round about. They can from the candlestick formation, you can see the market is really trying its best to break above the bell. You can see there's a lot of rejection around this zone, trying to push it below this zone. But then if today we are able to see anything that makes it break above this, then that means we are likely to see a bullish momentum back to this next 70,000 level right here. So if that is validated, then that means we are likely to see BTC start moving on a bullish aspect once again. But then since it's still in this zone, that means we are still going to be waiting for a bearish trade, except here gets broken for us to look for the bullish momentum. Okay, so let's go back to the 15-minute chart. Let's see if we see any change of structure to the bearish again, or are we seeing that to the bullish? Okay, let me use this to mark this out. I'm not actually still comfortable with this. Why? Because if I take a trade there, definitely my stop loss is still going to be above this high. This remember this first one, the second one. So preferably I look to be here. So I prefer the market actually giving me something like this, not breaking above the stop me somewhere around here, so it can give me a better stop loss for me to go short on. So for this, look as if I'm actually chasing the market, because if I should enter somewhere here, then my stop loss is going to be still be here, which then my take profit might not be this level, which I'm not really too comfortable with that. So for that, I will leave BTC to go. Maybe later in the day, if it happens to pull back to this level or break above this level, then I'll be more than glad to go long on BTC USD. But then on the short side, I want to go somewhat close here before I go short. All right, so going to the final one, which is XAU, popularly called gold. Okay, let's go back to the 4-hour chart. We actually said yesterday that gold is still likely to go back to the 5,000 yesterday, and that really happened. Though it didn't really get to the 5,000, but I think we saw some bullish movement on gold yesterday. All right, so let me just extend this. Okay, let me go back to the 4-hour chart just in case of those that didn't see how I got the previous levels. I just extended. Okay, let me even delete that. Now, this was the previous level. I think I did got this from the 1 hour time frame. Yes, this was the previous level. So I can even delete it because it's actually an internal level which we do yesterday. Is it yesterday or Monday? I think we did that on Monday. Okay, good. Now the market is actually, let me still use this. It's actually still a bit of bearish. Why? Because going down here, unable to break above the stopping here, going below this, then stopping somewhere here again. You can see right here. Now it's still testing that same level. So if there's high chance that the market is still likely to reverse back down. So that's why it's not yet a bullish confirmation yet. Because looking at it, still making series of lower highs. You can see this high is actually higher than this. Then you can see a lower one still. So these are all still all lower highs. So that means the market is still very much bearish on 4-hour chart. Until maybe we are likely to start seeing the market then breaking above this previous level. For example, let's say it actually stops here now, break above this, break a retest, then break above this its own high again. Then we are likely to now say, okay, gold is likely to now move back to the 5,000 zone. I think that is clear enough. All right, that brings us to the end of today's analysis with with today's analysis. So please and please always remember, just as I always say every day, I always say this is not a financial advice. I'm not telling you to trade it or put your money just the way I'm putting mine. I'm only telling you what I am doing because I'm willing to lose it. If the money goes, fine. If it's profitable, awesome. So that does not mean I say this is what I'm doing, that does not mean you should do it. So this is just a guide for you. You can use it as a guide to your own personal analysis. Okay, what am I doing today? This can just be a guide. We do this every single day. It's done yesterday, it was done yesterday, today, tomorrow, it's gonna be there, even on synthetics. So if this is your first time coming across the channel, please do well to make sure you hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out from today's trade. That said, I wish you a profitable day trade ahead. Please ensure you stay safe, And please don't risk more than you can afford to lose.